Hey, Mark the Guitar Guy here, and we're going to be looking at chord theory and also a little bit of scale theory, but mostly chord theory and how it applies and how it works and how I think about chord theory, which is a little bit different than a lot of people approach this. So, and if you're into my stuff, then I think you'll get my way of thinking when it comes to this sort of stuff. So, if you're looking at my previous video, we did the major scale, and we did it in the key of A, starting on the A note, just to recap, and we did this scale shape. I call it a scale shape, scale pattern, whatever you want to call that. There's a million ways we call things in music and guitar, which gives us our A major. So, if we were to play an A major chord, like your basic A, any old A, any A on the guitar, just a typical A major chord. Not an A major something or other, or an A major 7th or 9th, just a basic A major. So why is it an A major? And that's a question that I've asked myself and people have asked. Or how do we at least come up with those notes knowing that and knowing that it's called an A major? So the way I approach it is it's from, and many people do, not just me, it's based on the major scale. So the A major scale, if we look at it and we break it down into numbers, that's what we need to do. So today's lesson is all pretty much just about numbering the scale. It's going to be really easy because you already know the scale shape. So you know the whole scale shape. We don't actually need the whole scale shape to do the theory part of it. Let's just go through, and we're going to count from the first note as we go through our scale shape to 8. And there's a reason why, and we'll explain it in a minute. So we start from the first note. We're going to number that 1. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 is actually, we've got more notes of course in the scale shape, but we end up finishing up on this, what is it, the 7th fret on the 4th string, okay? That is called an octave. If you think of oct like an octopus, it means 8. So what that means is 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 notes in the full scale. But in actual fact, there's 7, the 8th being the first one again. So the first note was an A, the last note's the same note, but an octave above. So there alone, you might have just learnt something and gone, octave, octopus, 8, or octagon. You know that 8, oct. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's literally the 8th note above the root note, or the tonic, the very first note of our scale shape. So that's all I want you to do today is to understand that and to go through that and to number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The notes of the scale, because when you've got that sussed, you've learnt the scale shape, you've learnt how to number the notes, and we can carry on from that, but we just want to go to 8 at this stage. The next step to that is how to figure out how to put that into chord theory. So let that information sink in for a bit, and then we're going to come back again and we're going to understand how we can relate that perfectly to chords, and you'll be like, oh my God, Mark, you've just solved a huge problem for me. Hopefully that'll be the case. So if you like my information and you want to see some more, you should definitely subscribe to the channel and go and check me out on Jamorama.com. You get access to all the videos and the theory course that we're doing here, the deep, real deal, I like to call it, on theory, and at least my practical application to theory, and all the other courses that I do on specified areas of guitar that can help you. And if you want to get in contact with me, that's the best way to go through the channels of Jamorama.com. Otherwise, we'll see you for another theory lesson very shortly. Catch you later.